Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review thanks to the team over at TF Direct. In today's video we're taking a look at the DABAN model 9907, aka the bootleg of Generation Toys Op X. A huge thank you to Sam for hooking me up with the Op X just for the purpose of the review so I can do a full comparison. I can just imagine the guys over at DABAN saying, yo, Generation Toys, can I borrow your homework? And Generation Toys like, yeah, just, if you're going to copy it, just make it look a little bit different. Yeah, we did that, yep, definitely made the packaging look vastly different. I mean, in all fairness to them, at least they give us a full surrounding box, not just the print on the front. Now you may or may not have seen my first look video, but I take a quick look at Prime just to see how he is, kind of give my first impressions. Unlike the Generation Toys version, this guy does come packed in a plastic clamshell, which does vastly reduce on his shipping costs, but also he isn't exactly as sturdy as those really nice foam packaging that Generation Toys have given us in the past. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. Actually very fond of this figure. Having him in hand alongside the Generation Toys version, there are some subtle differences. Weight is definitely one. The plastic that DABAN used is slightly off in terms of quality, but it's not far at all. Still stand by that DABAN are the best 1-1 for the Generation Toys Devastator. It looks and feels incredible, so if any of you have gaps in your Generation Toys Devastator collection, then I highly recommend the DABAN as opposed to things like the MBK. Obviously if you go Jimbao it is oversized, but DABAN is 1-1 scale. This is a very good looking figure. I really liked the Generation Toys version. It was a good figure. I liked the G-Creation version of Prime, but the transformation was a lot cleaner on this Generation Toys inspired version. It just tidied up a lot better than G-Creation. And of course DABAN have carried that over into their own version. All you have to do when getting this out of the package is sort out these feet. You've got these sections where the wheels are, they just need to fold inside and fold the panels out. And you need to split that spoiler section on the rear. Everything else pretty much just falls into place. You can see I do have his head LED lit when he eventually comes back round. But it's a good looking figure. For those who missed the original, it does go for a pretty hefty sum now. In comparison, this is much more affordable. Like I said, poor old Generation Toys, they do seem to be getting ripped off an awful lot, but could it be that maybe they sell on their designs? Because it seems to be Generation Toys and Make Toys, they seem to be the ones that people kind of bootleg. Is this something very strange that it's only those companies? I mean, why not bootleg something like Fans Toys, for example, where you know that you're going to be able to sell loads because the aftermarket price is ridiculous. It just seems to be the same companies getting bootlegged over and over again. It's either they're selling their designs or somebody has a real vendetta against those brands. Here he is alongside the Generation Toys version. As you can see, there are some differences in the colours that have been used. We have kind of a more pastel red being used on this DABAN version. It's kind of more of a flat colour. Now we do get more sprue marks throughout. It's definitely not the same sort of plastic consistency. It's not terrible by any means, but it's definitely not the same kind of thickness as Generation Toys. Coming down to the legs I actually prefer on the DABAN. They're a much more kind of vibrant silver and with crisper lines of all things. And then again, coming down to the blue, we have more of a smoked blue with a kind of a pastel feel on the Generation toys. And on the legs of DABAN especially, it's kind of a very kind of bold blue. Kind of carries on throughout as well. Even on the backpack, you can see those differences. Being kind of reverse engineered, you're always going to get differences in lines, etc. Like these more subtle, I guess. These crisp, where it's just been straight out of the mold. Generation toys opted for rubber tires. DABAN rubber-ish, but they're much more solid, verging on the side of just kind of plastic there, softer plastic, whereas these are definitely rubber. Again, we get some like the odd swirls in the plastic, but all in all, it's a very viable replacement or alternative, in my opinion. I mean, that's it. I mean, you do have like the softer paint. It depends on what you want from your figure. I mean, Generation Toys version is better, in my opinion. But when you bring price into consideration, then that is definitely a game changer. The DABAN products are ridiculously cheap, especially their Devastator. It's nonsensical, it really is. You get so much toy for your money. Of course, not that the weight of a figure is the be all and end all, but if I just remove his gun, so it's all even, we can place him on scales, and we're looking at 471 grams. That's 16.61 ounces, and Generation Toys is 474 grams. That's 16.71 ounces. So as I previously said, there's not really that much in it. Let's take a closer look at Prime. Really nice detailing on there, and the head on mine is slightly loose on that neck rotation, but that is just a screw on the underside, I've been informed, so that should be able to tighten just by tightening up that screw. Like I said, we do have the odd sprue marks here and there. Nice chest section. Chest just tabs in at this neck area, like so. Open that up. Everything holds together nicely once it's tabbed in. Just need to make sure that we have something that looks like that under the arms, and it all does tab in rather nicely. It's a good looking figure. I really do hope they do Megatron. I don't have a great deal of figures to hand for a scale comparison, so just got what I hear. I've got the oversized Siege Sideswipe, oversized Siege Hounds, both by Black Mamba or AO Mech. We've got the oversized Prime from Siege, not by Black Mamba. And then we have the Black Mamba oversized Siege Prime with the kind of modified backpack section as well. It's actually a very good figure. I will get around to reviewing him within the next day or so. But as you can see, I mean, he's a good leader sized figure. We're looking at the MP10 kind of height, so definitely up there with your masterpiece figures. I know a few of you may already have Goose as well, so that gives you an idea of what sort of MP scale he is. Now, as amazing as he looks in his robot mode, he does of course transform, so let's quickly get him changed up. This section here is going to lift up. If you want to do that on both sides, the arm is going to rotate around like so. There's space here for you to fold down this tab, and this section is going to fold upwards from here. This is going to come up into this void. This tab comes down. This is going to come unfolded like so. This piece here comes out, which allows the fists to come in. We can then fold that piece back down. We can then bring this down like so, and this is going to rotate around. This next section comes up. These are going to come untabbed from the base like so. These fold under on both sides. These wheels are going to fold outwards and fold outwards, and with those out, this section here can now come untabbed from the top and untabbed from the top like so, and then we can bring these down to the side, untuck Prime's chest on both sides. These sections here are tabbed in and they just pop out to the side. There's a tab here and here. Bring these around to the front just so we can bend this section at the torso, and that's going to come backwards like this. We can now bring this piece here down. There's a tab just behind there which is going to come up like this. Prime's head can now swing into that void, push and lock into position. Bring these panel pieces in on either side. That's gonna slide, and again on this side this is going to come in, push, slide and tab into position. These are going to come in to the side like so. The waist rotates around like this. These are going to split. This piece here is going to pull down, comes up, and this goes in behind, and you want to tab these in with the pinching motion and just grab his crotch and bring that down. Bring the hip skirts centrally up either side like so. Feet, the toes are going to collapse down into the void. This section here is going to come up, and this is going to rotate around. That can then collapse in like that. This panel is going to go all the way around and form the back half of the truck. We have a panel on the inside of the leg which is going to split. This will come up to the side. As you can see, these are now going to come together. We can then bring both of these panels up on either leg. Here, a nice close look on the inside of those arms. That's on a drop hinge. Slide that down. These panels are going to slide across the top, fully extend this section like so, and then this piece here is going to fold backwards. Make sure that this is flat, and this is just going to sink in to that void. The gun is going to come down like this, rotate and come upwards. This is going to come in like this, and then this is going to rotate, bringing this piece nicely compartmented away. That pushes in and locks at 2 points in the back of the truck. This leg panel here extends, and there's a tab here which is meant to line up with this notch here, and there's also a small tab on here which is going to line up with this section here. Slide these panels in so that they line up with this port here and this port here. The only real issue I've had with this piece in comparison to the Generation Toys is that the Generation Toys version does seem to kind of line up and stay lined up better than what this particular version does. But I mean, once this is in, it's in, but it's that initial kind of juggling different hinges. Like all of this was meant to be tabbed in first, but I find myself undoing certain sections to get the other bits tabbed in. Let's bring that up, and hike these across, like so, and hike this one across, like so. Bring those into the middle, pushing and locking that down. They kind of come together now, isn't it? So we need to bring these pieces up. Bring these pieces up. Those are going to push and lock into position. Those are going to fold and tab in together, and this is going to collapse back down, and it's on its own hinge section. Push that in, and just push and tab that slope into position. Bring these wheels out on both sides, like so, and like this. Bring in this mudguard section, line that up. There we go. That's holding that together, and then pop those wheels back out. There we go. Not perfect, but not bad at all. One rather tasty DABAN bootleg fits together nicely in the end. The journey from A to B is definitely not as enjoyable as the Generation Toys version. Things just don't seem to want to tab in as well as I would definitely have liked, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. You know me, I'm quite ham-fisted and heavy-handed, and I still managed to do it. And I think I got pretty much all of it on camera as well, which makes a change. To give you an idea of scale, here he is alongside my very twisted MP10. There we go. I mean, those are fairly good in terms of likeness. I think Toy Hack's done labels for the original Generation Toys version, so I may have to get myself some of those to just tidy it up slightly. And of course, having this trailer hitch on here, we can now add Prime's trailer on there as well. These do not want to stay tabbed in. There we go. There's a lovely pivot there. You can kind of jackknife the truck. But if you're an IDW fan and you didn't manage to get the Generation Toys version, highly recommended. Really do like what they've done. DABAN have done a rather nifty job for the price. That's what you have to bear in mind. You have to consider what you're getting in comparison to the price you are paying. It's not super fragile, but at the same time, it's definitely not like Fans Toys, for example. It's not a big, huge, solid lump, but it definitely does the job. Very interested to see what else DABAN put out on the market. Honestly, I'm loving this piece. It's a good Transformer. It looks the part, and it does exactly what it needs to. Thanks again to TF Direct for making this review possible. I will include a link in the description below where this can be purchased. Thanks again to Sam for hooking me up with the Generation Toys version just for the review. I'll be sending that back to you in the next couple of days, Sam. It was actually my copy originally. I actually sold it to Sam, and Sam, being a very awesome Patreon that he is, sent it over for the comparison. Thanks again to everybody who supported both of my channels over the last few years. It's finally hit that 50,000 subscriber mark over on the official channel, and we're nearly at 20,000 on this KO channel as well. Truly humbled. Big thank you to all of my patrons for the continued support. And until next time, myself and DABAN 9907, goodbye.